Counterfactual thinking helps us identify alternative choices or actions that could have led to different outcomes. By imagining what could have been done differently, we can recognize the potential opportunities that were missed. In economics, this is often referred to as opportunity cost, the loss of other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. Let's clarify with an example. Imagine you are the mayor of your city. Congratulations. Someone suggests to you that you should use the city's funds to build a public library. They show you research that convinces you that a library will indeed increase the access to education for young children in your city. Counterfactual thinking allows us to imagine what-if scenarios, like, what if, instead of building a library, you should use the funds to buy computers for schools in the city? Let's assume that resources are scarce and we can't do both. So a potential cost of building a library is missing the opportunity to equip schools with computers. This helps figuring out that the impact of building a library should not solely be assessed by the increased access to education it gives to children, but by comparing it to the counterfactual alternative interventions. This is also somewhat tricky. To see why, let's use our previous example of growing crops. When we think of a village switching to the new seeds, we ideally should not only compare it to the old seeds the village has been using so far, but check all other offerings, because maybe there is a different company that has even better seeds. Or maybe the leaders of the village should even look into buying worse seeds that are cheaper in order to use the saved expenses on medical interventions. Thinking of all the options and testing them seems like an exhausting and agonizing process. So a good rule of thumb would be to limit our search to realistic lost opportunities that could be revealed in reasonable time and focus on them when assessing our impact. For example, if you're considering educational interventions, it makes sense to compare them to relevant alternatives in the educational space. It might also make sense to actively search for more creative alternatives, or to make a call for proposals so people might come to you with ideas. But after a decent effort, you can focus on the feasible options that you have at hand. So, what are the takeaways? When we calculate the value of an action in our what-if analysis, we need to remember that taking one action means we miss out on taking another action. We saw that, at least hypothetically, failing to consider counterfactuals can lead us to think that we're helping when we're actually doing harm. But is this a likely scenario in practice? Especially when we take into account opportunity costs, the answer is often yes. For example, if I'm fundraising from donors that have a limited donation budget, as is usually the case, and I'm fundraising for a less impactful charity, I might actually be doing counterfactual harm by diverting money from high-impact interventions to lower-impact ones. The bottom line is that our counterfactual is also determined by the value we could have achieved in different courses of action, that is, by the opportunity cost, and that's why it's highly important to integrate this concept in our decision-making.